Hi, this is Jean from Jean B. Apothecary, and this is Metamorphosis in Motion. It's my daily check-in as I build a new life, a new rhythm, and a new me from the inside out. I'm glad you're here. It's been a little bit of a up and down being home. I was gone for a week working on building my new herb farm, and it was quiet, and I had a lot of time to reflect and no drama. I mean, it was just plants and dirt, and a broken rototiller is not that dramatic, really. It just meant I had to work a little harder and a little longer than I meant to, which is fine. And just doing these, I like to do these out in my gazebo, these daily check-ins when I can. I do them pretty much anywhere, but tonight, maybe a little bit of background noise. Our neighbors are having some people over, and I thought I could wait it out, but it's getting darker and I don't want to waste any more time, so hopefully it's not too distracting. Today started off pretty good. Slept in. I was exhausted, plus I didn't get to sleep until late, as I didn't get home until late. So I got up late, and that was fine. No big deal. Got my tea, back on my yerba mate little schedule, and it's like a new ritual, right? I used to drink coffee, so actually I hadn't thought about it, but it's a pretty good time to talk about the fact that I gave up coffee, I guess on my birthday, my rebirthday, a couple weeks ago, and that kind of meant starting a different ritual, a different routine. And I started drinking tea and creating some blends, putting it into a French press, some hot water, and that was my thing. That was my morning thing. And I could take it out here in the gazebo and drink my coffee. Not my coffee, my tea. I'm not drinking coffee now. And when I was down at the farm, I did tea, but not the same kind of tea. And in fact, I was so busy working, I hardly drank the tea. So that was a whole different thing. That's just an example of doing something different and how that can make a pretty big impact. I'm back home again. Routine is kind of easy to jump back into. So I did my tea, and it was really great. I loved it, and being out here in the gazebo and doing my work and doing my scheduling, trying to get ahead of things. So I don't know if you notice or not, but when I'm doing these check-ins, it's kind of like I'm doing some other stuff, so I'm not really planning ahead, and I've got a bunch of other content to do. And part of this whole metamorphosis for me is also showing up not just for these, but showing up in my social media and doing the things I need to do to grow my business. Things that are uncomfortable for me, some things that are new for me, but keeping up with that and doing that. So today was a step in the direction of scheduling properly, setting a plan in place, and using tools I'd never known how to use before. So that was a big learning experience for me. And that was fine. And I did all that, and then it was time to get ready for an appointment. I took my daughter to her nutritionist today, and that didn't quite go how I had hoped it would go. But if I'm being honest, I kind of knew that in advance, because this is a tough subject. And basically I walked out of there feeling once again like the worst mom, doing something wrong. I always feel like I'm doing something wrong, and I try to do what I think I know to be the right things to do, but somehow it doesn't feel right when the outcome is more or less about how I have done something wrong. I mean, that's kind of the bottom line. And this is something that comes up for me. It's been coming up pretty heavily since January was one big trigger time. Probably very much over the past few years, especially as the kids have gotten older, because it becomes a little more evident when it's harder, I guess. I mean, just to put it plainly, it's harder as they get older. So what I do when I don't know is I kind of shut down. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. So my tact is to say and do nothing. And I'm sure that is not the right thing to do. So one of the things I'm really working and struggling with right now is what to do instead of nothing. And it's not to say I have not put forth a lot of effort in trying to do the right thing. I read, I apply techniques I hear about, I read about. They're supposed to be the right things to do. They have not transformed that way or come out to be that way. So the big question for me right now is how do I do the right things? As I have not had a person to model. I don't know anybody who does exactly the right thing in my particular circumstance. And everybody's different. But certainly there's got to be some approach somewhere that actually can help. And the real frustrating part is we're going to see people, professional people, and they're essentially in the exact same boat I am, the one I'm in. So if they can't help, what am I doing there? Like, it seems to be making things worse. So that's my struggle right now. I don't have the answer. This is about growing. So what I'm hoping for, what I'm planning for, is to have the answer, is to somehow try something, see something, figure something out that helps me navigate this really tough time and helps me help, most importantly, my daughter. This is really more about them. So I believe very strongly that if I can do better, then I can help them be their best. If not their best, better. I just want them to have the best chance at the best kind of life they can have. So that's what's on my mind today. I don't have the answer, like I said. If you maybe do, please comment, because I could really use some inputs here. Examples of the how. That's the challenge. So that's it. I'm trying to, I think, mull through my brain here to see what else is going on. That's a big kind of thing for today. A big win for me today was that I did not decide that what would really help this situation would be to shut down in the form of a couple IPAs. That's kind of what my coping skill has been up to now. I had myself a lemon balm lemonade, and that was good. It was just as good as it was the last time I had it. And having some water, and then I'm gonna get ready to watch a little bit of TV with my daughter and chill out. So if you're on your transformation, your journey, your metamorphosis, I'm glad you're here. We can walk this journey together. Give me a like, subscribe, tune in. A podcast is coming, I promise. I'm gonna have a launch date probably by early next week. I'll know when I can launch this thing, and would love to have you along for that too. This whole goal of mine in documenting this is to help you find the how also, because I don't have the answers. I'm starting to find people who seem to have touched the places where answers may be found. The implementation of the answers is going to be the tricky part, and I want to be able to do that and show how doing things differently can have a good impact, because I'm not where my goal is. I'm not at the very beginning, but I'm at the new beginning, if that makes sense. So I hope to see you tomorrow for the next Metamorphosis in Motion. I think tomorrow becomes day 18. It's funny how the days go by so fast. Happy to have you here. I want you to take care of you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.